Greetings friends, welcome. My name is Machuru Zendaenda and I'm going to talk about emotional health in relation to sleep. So the first episode was basically based on mental health and its aspects, and we've learned a lot of things. Now we are going to focus on one of the therapeutic things that we can do to try to monitor our emotional health. Now you see that the brain of a person, we can simply divide it into two major divisions. So I'm going to divide it into number one, something that is called the limbic system, that is responsible for regulating all the emotions. That means all the passions, all the things that you want to do are in there. It has a lot of structures, but I will not trouble you with all those structures. But remember that that one is responsible for monitoring your emotions. Then the second one that I'm going to look at is the frontal lobe, which is responsible for all the good decisions that you make. So the frontal lobe is that aspect of the brain that is responsible for you thinking and doing all the things that are good. So it's just like a muscle that operates in this way, that you have to exercise the muscle so that it becomes useful. So as you exercise your limbic system, it means you are going to develop more of your passions, more of your feelings, and more of those negative things. And then when you develop your frontal lobe, you are developing all those things that make you better: self-control, temperance, good judgment skills, and all those things. Now sleep, I want to tell you today that it directly affects all these two main structures of the brain. Now the first thing that I want you to know is that sleep is directly related to brain chemistry. What do I mean by this? I mean sleep is responsible for regulating the reward system of the brain, and this reward system comprises of things that are released by the brain, which are called neurotransmitters in a scientific language. And these things include dopamine, serotonin, and these things are responsible for making somebody feel happy. So whenever you have enough sleep, I will talk about how much sleep you are supposed to have as an adult, as a child, as well as a teenager. These people have got different sleep ranges. Now whenever you sleep adequately, you are going to have adequate amounts of dopamine, you are going to have adequate amounts of serotonin, you are also going to have adequate amounts of GABA, something that is called GABA. It's a neurotransmitter as well. And all these things are responsible for monitoring that your emotions are kept within range. People who don't sleep do not have a good regulation of their emotions, and some other time they are impulsive, some other time they are just low. Number two, sleep is associated with an abnormality in the amygdala. Now I will tell you, this structure called amygdala is found in the limbic system. Now it says that research proves that about 60% of the amygdala, growth happens whenever somebody doesn't sleep. So what does this mean to your emotional health? It means if you don't sleep for a longer time, and it becomes your habit, it will mean that you are going to exercise more of your limbic system. Therefore, what will rule within you are those feelings. People will have increased libido. People will have problems with people that always want to sleep with people only because they have lacked that sleep. People will have depression that they don't know where it has come from, but it is just a simple matter of that they have failed to control their sleep. So you might need to see how you are sleeping so that you may control your emotions, so that you may not develop more of your limbic system and then suppress the frontal lobe. Again, sleep is associated directly with these conditions of health. Number one, there is post-traumatic stress disorder. People who have got sleep is considered a trigger of post-traumatic stress disorder. This is a disorder that happens to people that have faced nasty events in their lives, for example, wars and etc. And if these people don't sleep, these people continue to have all these disorder in their minds, and they continue to have all these traumatic events coming to play within them. Number 2, sleep is also directly related to people with what they call personality disorders, especially the antisocial personality disorder. What is this disorder all about? This disorder is about people who are very antisocial, people who have got behavior that is not accepted in society, people who have got high criminal records, people who have got unacceptable norms and standards in society. These people usually, when they were studied, they do not necessarily sleep. So people, as you are listening to this, know that the more you don't sleep, the more you develop this behavior as well. Sleep again is associated with people who later is also a symptom as well as a cause of depression. So people who are depressed might not sleep, and people who do not sleep might end up getting depressed. So I would advise you, if you are not sleeping, to see a medical health personnel or a mental health counselor, so that you may be assessed if you have depression. But if you were not sleeping, know that it's a risky factor that you can end up having depression. So rather, you would rather sleep to save yourself from those antidepressants tablets. Then number 4, sleep is directly involved to people who make poor decisions in life. Now you see that many people, they have got decisions that they make that are so poor. Some of them are just attributed to the simple thing: they do not sleep. Therefore, their frontal lobe is very, very small compared to the limbic system. Now, I will go on a case study that was done. Now, I myself, I have seen it individually that whenever I go for an all-night, irregardless that I have been talking to a higher power, but inside my brain, I know that I would be having a disorder. The other study that was done was a study that was done on medical health personnel. These people are people that are usually deprived of their sleep. So it was done on medical health personnel, it was done on soldiers, it was done as well as people who work in the security force of countries. These people usually are deprived of their sleep. And one thing that these people noted when they did the study, they saw that the people had one behavior that they exhibited which was similar. For example, most of the soldiers wanted women generally. Then most of the doctors wanted women generally. Most of the doctors would suffer from these STIs. Most of the soldiers would suffer from these STIs. It was odd, and when they studied, they discovered that these people do not sleep. Because they do not sleep, they make poor decisions because they've developed much of their limbic system more than their frontal lobe. Therefore, their decisions that they make are very poor. So when I studied this, I discovered that even if you go to England, you will see the same doctor that you left in Zimbabwe with the same behavior. Why? Because these people don't sleep. Therefore, their mental health is not as good. Again, another study proved that these people do not live as well with their women for a long time. Most of them are divorced, want to live alone, or would say it's rather better for me to live alone. It's all because they do not have a stable mental health. Now, what are we supposed to do so that we may have a better mental health? Children of God, we are supposed to sleep. It was God who designed this sleep so that the bodies of people can rest. So how much are we supposed to sleep? To children, if they are still infants, they are supposed to sleep for a period of around 9 to 12 hours so that they can sleep with this ample time and they can have time to develop very well. To those people that are in their teenagers, they are supposed to sleep for at least 7 to around 9 hours so that they develop very well. Now, to those that are adults, they are supposed to sleep a maximum of 6 to 8 hours so that they develop well and they release well the neurotransmitters, they live a happy life. Now, people may want to ask, so how do I manage to sleep 6 to 8 hours and then be able to fend for my family or be able to read my books? I want to tell you this, that the day that we have, which comprises of 24 hours, is enough for us to live the 6 hours that we need to read our book, to sleep. And after reading our books, what are we supposed to do? We are supposed to plan our schedules in the most effective way. Now, what are some of the causes of lack of sleep? Number one, you see that when people go to sleep, there are things that they have normalized that they do which necessarily prohibit them from having a good sleep hygiene. Number one, people want to talk stressful issues when they want to sleep. If they are married people, they will then discuss about the events which stresses them that they have made when they want to sleep. That alone deters people from having enough sleep. So you are supposed to avoid talking of issues that stress you when you are about to sleep. Number two, you are supposed to switch off all lights when you are about to sleep. You see that the brain has got something that they release which is called melatonin, and melatonin affects the way that the diurnal variation of the sleep cycle operates. So whenever you leave your light turned on, it means you are going to deprive yourself of sleep. The other aspect that causes people not to sleep is eating very late. Any food that you eat after 8 is a poison to your body. You would rather eat earlier so that you have enough time to sleep. Ladies and gentlemen, God designed us in a way that you and me should rest. One of the most effective ways that can enhance our mental health is by just sleeping. Sleep 6 to 8 hours so that you can stay healthy and you can stay connected to the source of all life, that is God himself. May God bless you.